Jake Turner had always been drawn to adventure. As a kid, he'd pretend the woods behind his house held pirate gold or ancient ruins. Now, in his 20s, and still clinging to that spark, he signs up for the Wild Treasure Hunt, a rugged, week-long event deep in the Colorado Rockies. The competition is supposed to be lighthearted fun teams, using GPS coordinates and riddles to find fake treasure chests placed by the organizers. But for Jake, this trip means more than just excitement. He's desperate. After his father passed away, he was left with a pile of debt and a crumbling house. He needs a miracle or maybe a treasure. Jake teams up with his cousin Mia, a sharp, sarcastic coder who's more interested in nature photography than hunting gold. They also invite along Old Bill, a quirky, retired history teacher who once lectured about lost Spanish treasure and ancient trade routes. Everyone laughs at Bill's theories, but Jake listens. Something in the old man's eyes makes him believe. On the first day, the competition begins. Each team gets a GPS device and a riddle to lead them to their first clue, while most contestants dash off toward the obvious paths. Jake's team takes a different route, based not on the game's riddle, but on a crumbling, yellowed map Bill brought with him. He found it years ago in his grandfather's attic and believes it hints at real treasure buried somewhere near the hunt zone. The map is rough and weathered, marked with strange symbols like a jagged line labeled wolf's spine and an X under a drawing of a sleeping pine. Bill claims these were real Spanish markers used to hide supply caches and valuables in uncharted territory. Jake, half amused and half hopeful, follows along. Mia rolls her eyes but documents the trip with her camera. As they hike deeper into the wild, the terrain grows rougher, less traveled. They pass a ridge that looks like the spine of a wolf, and Mia, despite her skepticism, starts to feel a thrill. A few hours later, they find the sleeping pine, a massive tree bent low, as if laying on its side. It's quiet there, untouched. No sign of the other teams. Jake, tired and frustrated from digging up false leads, slams his shovel down near the base of the tree and hears something strange. A hollow thud. Everyone freezes. He strikes the ground again. The sound is different. Excited, Jake drops to his knees and starts digging, clearing dirt and roots. The others help. Within minutes, they expose the corner of a large box. Not wood, not plastic, metal and gleaming. With trembling hands, Jake scrapes away the remaining dirt. The box is solid gold, crusted with age but unmistakably real. Intricate engravings of lions, crosses, and unfamiliar symbols cover its surface. It's not part of the game. The three sit in stunned silence, realizing what they've just unearthed. This is no joke. This isn't pretend. This is real treasure, lost, buried, and hidden away for centuries. As the sun dips behind the mountain, casting long shadows across the valley, Jake looks at the golden box and whispers, "We weren't supposed to find this." What began as a game just became the greatest discovery of their lives. And the danger, that was just getting started. Jake, Mia, and Old Bill sit breathless in front of the gold box they've unearthed. As the reality sinks in, so does the weight of their discovery. This isn't part of any game. The box is old and, the moment they pry it open, they realize they've stumbled into something much larger than a treasure hunt. Inside, they find piles of gold coins stamped with Spanish insignias, precious gemstones, and an array of ornate objects. A ruby inlaid dagger, an amulet glowing faintly blue, and a brittle scroll sealed in wax. Everything about the contents screams historical significance. Mia immediately begins snapping photos and documenting the contents, while Old Bill, hands shaking with excitement, gently unrolls the scroll. The parchment is covered in Spanish and Latin writing, worn and faded but readable. Bill translates slowly. The scroll tells of a secret order of Spanish explorers who hid their riches across the Americas not just for safekeeping, but to protect a sacred artifact. One line in particular stands out. 3 keys to the throne of light guarded by stone, sealed by blood, revealed only by need. That glowing amulet, they realize, might be one of those keys. As the team processes the magnitude of what they've found, they make a fateful mistake. Mia uploads a blurred, cryptic image of the gold box to her private Instagram, intending to keep it vague. But the image catches attention, especially from someone watching the treasure hunt for more than fun. Enter Donnie Vex, a ruthless and greedy rival treasure hunter who's known for shady deals and reckless ambition. A former museum curator turned rogue, Donnie had once been laughed out of academia for his theories about secret Spanish caches. Now, he has reason to believe he was right, and Jake's post confirms it. He starts tracking them, determined to steal the treasure for himself. Back in the wilderness, Jake's team hides the box in a hollow tree and plans to head back to town to report it, but Old Bill urges caution. "You think the government will just let us walk off with this?" he warns. "This is bigger than any of us, and there's more out there." Bill believes the amulet and scroll point to 2 more treasure locations, perhaps forming a triangle of protection around a greater secret, possibly a temple, vault, or royal tomb. The key glows faintly near certain rocks, hinting it may react to minerals or energy fields. That night, under the stars, Mia and Jake debate what to do. Jake wants to explore further. Mia fears being followed on. She's right. The next morning, as they head back toward the original path, they find their camp ransacked and Bill's maps stolen. Tracks indicate someone had been watching them. Bill is furious, but Jake realizes the truth. The treasure has brought danger, not just discovery. Suddenly, they're not just in a wild treasure hunt, they're part of a high-stakes race involving history, secrets, and people willing to kill for gold. With Donnie Vex closing in, and only a partial map and a glowing amulet in their possession, they have a choice: flee with what they've found or push deeper into the unknown. Risking everything for the truth hidden behind the treasure, they choose the latter. The real hunt has only just begun. After the ambush at their camp, Jake, Mia, and Old Bill know one thing for sure: they can't go back. Donnie Vex is after them, and now he has some of Bill's maps. But they still hold the most valuable piece, glowing amulet, which might be the only true key to the rest of the treasure. With nowhere to run and everything at stake, they press forward into the wild. Following the ancient clues from the scroll references a cave behind falling silver, which Bill interprets as a waterfall. After hiking for hours, through dense forest and rugged terrain, the trio reaches a towering cascade hidden in a secluded valley. Behind the roaring water, they discover a narrow path, slippery and treacherous, leading into the rock. The amulet begins to glow brighter as they move deeper into the cave, pulsing softly like a heartbeat. Inside, the air is heavy and cold. The tunnel opens into a vast chamber, where the walls are covered with carvings, depictions of Spanish conquistadors, Incan symbols, and cryptic star maps. In the center of the chamber is a raised stone platform. As Jake places the amulet into a circular indentation on the altar, a hidden door slowly grinds open, revealing a second vault, far grander than the first. Inside is a treasure trove unlike anything they could have imagined: heaps of gold, ceremonial masks, weaponry, scrolls, and statues untouched by time. But something else catches their attention: a throne made of gold and obsidian, surrounded by carvings that resemble celestial alignments. At its foot is a skeleton in armor, slumped over a rusted sword. Before they can examine more, Mia notices something: a strange mechanism embedded in the walls. Old Bill's expression shifts from awe to fear. "It's a trap," he whispers. "We were never meant to take it all." They hear footsteps echoing through the cave. Donnie Vex and his men have arrived, armed and furious. A tense standoff ensues. Donnie demands the amulet and access to the treasure. Bill refuses, and a scuffle breaks out. Amid the chaos, one of Donnie's men pulls a heavy gold statue from its pedestal, triggering the trap. Suddenly, the cave begins to shake. Rocks fall, dust clouds fill the air, and water from the waterfall starts pouring in through cracks in the ceiling. The tomb is collapsing. In the confusion, Jake fights off Donnie while Mia retrieves the amulet. Bill helps guide them out through a narrow passage. Donnie, weighed down by golden obsession, is last seen struggling to escape as the chamber caves in. Jake, Mia, and Bill barely make it out alive. Soaked and battered, they watch from a cliff as the valley below floods and the waterfall crashes with unnatural fury, nature reclaiming what was stolen. Later, they return to civilization with only the amulet, a few historical relics, and a story that few will believe. They contact a trusted museum and archaeologists, ensuring that the artifacts they did preserve go to the right hands. Their names make headlines. Jake pays off his family's debts, Mia earns recognition for her documentation, and Old Bill finally gets to prove his theories were true. The treasure they found changed their lives, but not because of the gold. It was the discovery, the danger, and the journey that mattered most. As Jake stares at the glowing amulet one last time, he wonders what other secrets still lie buried beneath the earth, and will someone else be brave or foolish enough to find them?